Welcome to Surviving Roots, the podcast where we navigate the messy, beautiful work of healing and growth. I'm your host, Cari Fund, and this is your space to breathe, reflect, and find strength. Whether you're breaking free from old patterns, healing from loss, or rebuilding your story one small step at a time, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath, give yourself this time, and let's uncover the tools to move forward with courage. This podcast is for you. Today's guest is someone who embodies that mission on a soul-deep level. Anick Vorbe was born and raised in Haiti and has called Miami home for over 2 decades. She's a multi-talented artist rooted in the worlds of fashion and interior design. But her truest work, the one that pulses through everything she touches, is healing. A dedicated yogi, certified yoga instructor, and mother, Anick brings us her debut novel, My Drumbeats, a deeply personal and spiritual memoir inspired by her life lessons, her experiences with ayahuasca, and the transformative power of grief. This conversation is about resilience. It's about coming undone, finding purpose, and how grief, when faced head-on, can become a sacred portal of awakening. If you've ever felt cracked open by life, My Drumbeats might just help you find your rhythm again. Welcome. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing very well, and I thank you for having me this morning.
I'm so excited to dive in to speak to you and learn more about your beautiful book. I want everyone to know we actually were introduced through a mutual friend at House of Maine located in Miami.
Yes, it's the gift that keeps on giving, House of Maine.
I know, right? It really
Yes,
does.
yes.
It really does. And we had like lunch as strangers, but honestly, when I met you, I felt like an instant connection because your energy is just, I don't know, I gravitated towards it. And when I left, I just felt so connected and more aligned and just lit up.
Likewise, same thing. I felt the connection right away, and I was divinely guided toward you, and vice versa. So it's great to be doing things together.
I know. And I'm looking forward to doing lots of things together. Especially attending one of your book events next week in Miami. I
Mhm.
can't wait. Well, let's dive into this beautiful book. I am obsessed with it, and I never realized how much I love green, especially this color.
Green's my favorite color,
Oh
so
my gosh,
I
it just,
had to put it on the cover too.
well, let's talk about this title that sort of speaks by itself. My Drumbeat. So, what does the title mean to you personally, and what can readers expect to feel as they move through its rhythm?
Okay. So at the very beginning, I knew that My Drum Beats was the right title for the book. When I started brainstorming, these were the very first words that came to my mind. And I kept them to myself because I wanted to feel the title first. And as I started writing, more and more it resonated with me. And in fact, the drums are one of my favorite instruments. And the drum beats, to me, they remind me of the beats of the heart. They can be fast, victorious, happy, resilient, but they can also be sad and nostalgic and different. So I thought that it would be the best title for it. And I am also fascinated by indigenous cultures. And the drums hold a very important space in the indigenous culture. It is a way of communication with the divine for them. It is also a way of celebrating and also of healing, also through sounds. And to me, sounds are frequencies, and there's a whole new branch now in medicine now starting to include sounds. So the drums is very powerful. And I am also from Haiti. And Haiti has the drums in the culture. It's a very important seat also because the slave came also from Africa. And that's all they had. That was their only mean of expressing themselves. They dance at night through the sounds of the drums. And that was their way of expressing their happiness or their sorrow or whatever they had to express. And before the slaves arrived also in Haiti, we had the Taino Native American Indians who were also there on the islands, also celebrating the beauty of the drums. And on my father's side, on the lineage of the ancestry, we have Middle Eastern also. And the darbuka is the Middle Eastern drums, and it is one of my favorite instruments. And my father's younger brother, he plays the darbuka, and whenever the family gathers, this little drum brings so much joy and happiness to the family. So, no way, no doubt, I felt it, and My Drum Beats was the proper title for me for the book.
Wow, that is so deep and beautiful. It really connects your roots with the rhythm of this book because there's no doubt that you being raised and born in Haiti and then living in Miami for over 20 years, how these sort of really two cultural landscapes have shaped the voice of this book. That is,
Absolutely.
I don't know if I've ever come across a book with such a meaningful title. That's beautiful.
Yes, and you know what? In the indigenous cultures, when you see a drum, because they make it from really from scratch, they're handmade and they use the skin of a dead animal. So not only this animal has fed the community, so making a drum now with the skin is another way to honor the animal also. And through the sounds that will resonate through the world, you know, it's a way of expressing themselves.
Yeah.
So
Well,
my drum beats it is.
that's beautiful. I think maybe the first question I really want listeners may want to know is why a book? Why now? What inspired you to start this writing journey in your life?
Okay, why now? In 2017, my family had a very tragic, unexpected loss. My younger brother passed and he died in his sleep, so that was very unexpected. Really, grief and pain have been the inspiration behind this book. And because as I was going through the process, because I did not want to block the process, I know that some people, they prefer to block it. They say, I don't have time to deal with this. I'm diving into my work, I'm diving into what I have to do. But you need to feel the grief. You need to feel the pain because grief and pain in this life, they have their purpose, they have their own voice. So I did not want to block it. And as I was going through the process of grieving, I started feeling a shift inside of me. I started finding myself wanting to do different things, seeing different people, going to different places. And clearly, I felt like a mutation, a metamorphosis happening inside of me. And I was learning so many lessons. And these lessons that I was learning made me feel so good. I really felt myself elevating myself. So everything that I had learned, I could not keep for myself. I wanted to share with other people. And to me, the hand that receives has to be the hand that gives also. So the book to me was the best way for me to spread the words and the messages out. At the beginning, when the seed got planted, I kept brushing it aside because I was like, oh my God, this is so real. How am I going to start? I don't know. So I kept pushing it aside. And at some point, I got a message that I had to do the book. And it kept also knocking and knocking at my door until I could no longer ignore it. So I sat down, I disciplined myself. It was a 3-year process, and now it is a reality. And I think the world now is ready for more authentic conversation.
I agree.
There's a movement. I'm clearly feeling a movement around. You have a movement, tech, AI, fast, going so fast, and that's uncontrollable. But also, you have a movement of an awakening of people finding out, and it's two parallel lines, walking along each other. So, and also, I feel, at least around me, I have people who value quality over quantity. So we're ready for authenticity. Even if it means narrowing down your circle,
Mhm.
I think we're ready for this.
I think so too. I know so many people, including myself, that can relate to what you're saying. I don't know if it's just I've been moving into this softer, vulnerable era that I just want to be aligned and connected to just like myself and everything outside of myself. It's I feel the shift. I do. And I love everything that you're saying because grief has sort of, I guess you could say from what you're saying, you're a portal. And sometimes grief is often seen as this ending, but in your book it really feels like the beginning. And it seems that your writing has allowed you to discover yourself in a depth that you didn't know before.
Absolutely. You see, we need these binaries in life. Just like you have spring and winter, day and night, life and death. Well, you need the grief and the pain in order to appreciate something else, also the opposite, and in order to grow. Grief and pain are tremendous teachers in this life when you decide to go through it. Because to me, the only way to heal the pain is to feel the pain.
Yes. What is that? You have to feel it to deal with it so you can heal it.
Yes, but you know, I feel that here in the West, we are so heavily medicated.
Yeah.
It's as if they don't want you to feel the pain, you know? I mean, it's not about, how do you say that, cool vibes only. That doesn't exist, you know? And I did not want to take antidepressants because I spent one full year really, really feeling sad and lost and depressed. And I decided to go through natural modalities. So, yeah, that's why when you use natural modalities, it allows you to feel the pain. Whereas antidepressant, I'm not imposing anything on anyone, I'm just proposing, you know, because to me, I feel that antidepressants, they just numbs you. And I think it's just an artificial type of healing, you know, because it's like putting on a band-aid on a wound that's not even cleaned. And to me, do they really go deep down in the root of the trauma? I don't think so. They may give you energy to get out of bed or to go to that event or to do your things, but there is still some repressed emotion in there that I think they don't heal.
Yeah, I agree. It's like you're reading my mind because I'm thinking of ayahuasca and the awakening right now. You referenced ayahuasca, your own ayahuasca experiences as inspiration for this book. What role did plant medicine play in your healing journey, and how did it influence your writing?
Wow. You know what? It's clearly around us that psychedelic now has a new seat at the table. More and more, you have people talking about a mushroom-assisted therapy or ayahuasca or bufo. It's more and more you hear this conversation, and they're no longer hush hush. People want to talk about them. So I tried a few natural modalities, but my ace of spade, the one that has brought me more clarity and mind-blowing transformation was the ayahuasca. So I don't know if everyone is aware what the ayahuasca is. It's an indigenous brew and it's a combination of two plants, which is a vine and a shrub. And one of them has dimethyltryptamine, it's DMT, that has a psychedelic and psychoactive hallucinogenic characteristic. And when you take the plant, it goes deep and penetrates into every cell of your body, and it will go find the deeply rooted trauma that you may not even know exists and that you may not even know that it carries you. So ayahuasca is a teacher plant. It's a spirit, it's a plant of guidance and it purges you, purges the trauma. And you know what? The reason that you think you are taking it may not be the reason
Yeah.
that you are taking it.
I'm so fascinated by it. Did you went to Costa Rica?
Yes, I went to Costa Rica to a center called Rhythmia Life Enhancement Center. And the reason why I decided to go there is because of the safety factor. Because the demand now is so big for ayahuasca and plant medicine that it comes also with a downside, which is charlatans. There's many people coming saying, oh yeah, I'm a shaman now, I'm this and that. After just 1 year, 2 years, they decide that they are a shaman. But over there at Rhythmia, they hand select the shaman, and some of them has the title called Taita. Taita is an extremely revered, it's an extremely important title that shows the lineage of the person administering you the plant. Some of these shaman has their own farm. They cultivate a relationship with the spirit of the plant. And even the way they harvest the leaves and the roots, it's a very sacred medicine. So at Rhythmia also, not only the shamans are hand selected, there are paramedics on the side. There's a clinic on the side. I mean, there's always a risk in anything we do. I take my car, I drive, something can happen. But at Rhythmia, you have to go through a clear process of interviewing yourself and finding out if you are a candidate. It's not just you going to the jungle in wherever and then taking it and then God forbid something happens to you. So over there it's they really hand select the participant, and I like the factor issue of having the paramedics on site in case something happens.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was beautifully tied in through this book, and it just has me so curious about it as well. And you're a mom. So how has being a mom transformed your idea of healing and identity and purpose? Did it influence your writing of this book at all?
Absolutely. Now the book is dedicated, if you see it at the beginning, to my son because I wanted him to know his mother on a deeper level. Because, we hang out with our kids from morning to evening, but sometimes they don't really know who the parents is. Who they immediately associate you as the shield, the umbrella, and there's an order with the hierarchy. But they don't know that parents were children too, and they don't know what you've endured. So I wanted him to have a deeper knowledge about who his mother is.
Has he read the book?
He is. He definitely read the chapter to him. And he's in the process. You know those kids.
Yeah.
They're not big avid readers anymore, but I
Yeah.
see him. I see him reading it.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And it's like just, it's part of your legacy now. It's just such,
Yes, yes.
it's a beautiful gift for
And you
yourself.
know, and you know, I talk also about motherhood in the book, and it's a way also to reroute mothers because being a mother is probably the biggest job in this world. I mean, bringing a human into this world is a major task. It's tremendous responsibilities. So yeah, I'm talking to these mothers also out there and trying to see if they can plus the minuses, or it's never too late to do
Yeah.
the right things.
So, who would you say, how would you summarize this book in a couple sentences? And who is this book for? Who is this book for? And can you just give us a summary in a couple sentences of your book for those
This
listening?
book is definitely for the global community. This book is for those who are in pain, who can talk about it or who cannot talk about it, because not everyone can talk about their pain. This book is for, when I say the global community, because I think people need to be just a little bit more conscious about people next to you, because sometimes someone is next to you and you don't know what the person is harboring. So it's to being more, it's my own form of activism toward the collective consciousness. So it's really for the global community.
Love that. That's beautiful. And before even becoming a writer, I mean, you're an artist. I mean, with fashion and interior design, how did those creative practices prepare or influence you to write such a vulnerable and spiritual memoir?
Art is a form of expression also. So many artists express their who they are through their medium, whether painting, whether writing, whether decorating. So yeah, it's all about authenticity and showing who you are. So the book is just another form of expression.
I feel like that you were able to go so deep with this book because of so many things that make you you, not only the experience of grief, but coming from an artist background, and then you're also a certified yoga instructor. So you are deeply devoted to mindfulness and your spiritual practices. What kind of advice do you have for somebody listening who is grieving right now or dealing with pain? What's the first couple of steps besides buying and reading your book? Like what how do you cope with grief? Because I think grief is, it comes and goes, but
Mhm.
what are some of your practices when you're getting a visit from grief that you could share?
As humans, when we are in pain or we suffer a loss, a trauma, the first thing that we ask ourselves is, why is this happening to me? But when you look at it over time, I think the right question that should be asked is, what is this here to teach me? So sometimes when you are called through pain, sometimes it's time to change things. Sometimes it's time to let go of stuff and to reassess things in your life. So by doing this, you need to feel the pain. Do not avoid it. Do not block it, because the process of healing can be long, lengthy, and ugly, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. So the first advice is to feel the pain and ask yourself the question. And you don't have to buy the book. You don't have to do an ayahuasca session. Someone tells you, have you watched this documentary? Watch it. It may be helpful. Someone recommends you to talk to someone. Go talk to someone. You don't have to go to extremes to start. You can start with baby steps.
Yeah, I love that you say that. It's honestly, I have found, and I really truly believe this, that the smallest shifts just create the biggest impact. It's just consistency, showing up for yourself and your healing every day, even if it's just the smallest 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
But you have to want it too, and because nobody's going to do the work for you. You have to help yourself and you have to want it first in order to receive it.
Yeah. No one's coming to save you.
No
You
one
have
is
to save
coming. No one is
yourself.
coming. Or they can come up to a certain point, but
Yeah.
then you have to start walking the walk yourself.
Yeah. You're doing so many amazing events in your community. What's the response been like and how do you feel?
I feel so victorious. It's a big accomplishment, and it is bittersweet, even though it's a victory because it started with a loss, and I owe it all to my younger brother. But I really really feel victorious, and it's a big accomplishment. It's a big accomplishment.
It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And did you
And you
find
know, you know something? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Every day I get beautiful messages, people telling me, I am so proud of yourself. I am so proud of yourself. And which is amazing when I hear that they tell me that. But when I was getting divorced, there was a book that I read because I really wanted my son not to feel the chaos happening around him. And this book stayed with me forever. This book is called How to Talk to Kids So They Listen, and How to Listen to Kids So They Talk.
Mhm.
And there was one part of the book where exactly they're telling you, let's say your child has accomplished something big, a tennis tournament, or he got an A, or whatever it is. The first response that the parent will say is, I am so proud of you.
Mhm.
But this book teaches you how to ask the question, how to say it differently. And instead of saying that, you say, you must be so proud of yourself. So I can tell you it's a big accomplishment, and I am very proud of myself because this is not only for me, it's for the collective consciousness.
Yes, I love that you say that, and I definitely think you are elevating the collective consciousness.
Mhm.
It's practical. The storytelling is magical. And I really believe that you are contributing to this greater mission that we see happening now in society. So bravo to you.
Thank you. And it's the beginning. I'm looking forward to what's coming.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, once I think you go on this journey, it's just beginning. I think you think it's okay, I have the idea for the book and then I'm writing the book, but then it's completing the book, and then once your book baby is out into the world, now you are sharing and connecting with others and talking about it. And I feel like that's where the transformation is just ongoing. And I don't know how you feel about this, but I think there's a lot of healing that happens in between the words where you're writing it, but then once you're talking about it and connecting with other people, I still feel like the transformation, not only with them, but even within yourself, just continues deeper and deeper.
Absolutely. You know, this book is my story, it's my transformation. But now, as people are reading it now, it's time for their transformation. So this book is creating ripple effects, and really it humbles me to the core, seeing people sending me messages, calling me, telling me how they felt and how they are reflecting. And see, it's the beginning of transformation for others, and that was the intention at the very beginning.
Do you have a favorite part of the book?
Yes, I do, and it's the end. It's the last chapter. It's the horizon where I'm telling people that my perspective of so many things have changed. My perspective of love, of age, of abundance, everything has changed, and they can no longer look for the previous version of Anick because she doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And what is your family? How's your family received the book?
Oh, my family is rejoicing. My family, we have different generations. So I have 15-year-olds in my family reading the book and learning and getting excited because the earlier you know, the more you can eliminate collateral damages, you know. And I have 80 plus years old also in my family reading the book, and they too are thinking, wow, maybe I should have done something differently, or maybe it's time for the remaining that I have in my life, to change things. So my family is rejoicing as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, what's next?
What's next? As you said, once you take this path, you can never go back. You can never go back. So I listen to my inner voice. The book now is a reality. It's like I took a dice and then I threw it out into the universe. So I believe that new windows are opening, new doors are opening, new teachers, new relationships, and I trust and I surrender to what's coming. Look, you are my very first podcast,
I'm
so
honored.
yeah, I'm honored too. So, I'm grateful for what's coming, even though I don't know what's coming. It's just alignment, and I trust that good things can come out of this. And
Yeah.
definitely, I'm thinking of other books for sure because writing gives me such peace and such serenity. There's power in putting your words down on paper. There's power because you're not interrupted. It's you, the pen, and yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe something for children in the future. I'm thinking about that also because the earlier you start, the better it is.
Yeah.
I
I
just,
know. That's actually a very good point. And like for everyone listening that's a mom, if I look back at life, I wish I had been more aligned. I wish I knew these inner tools. I wish I knew how to activate them, but no one really ever taught me those coming from my toxic upbringing. So I had to undo and heal and reparent. And I don't want my kids to live like that. I want them to, they're going to go through good and bad times and definitely no pain that I can't protect them from everything, but I don't want them to have to heal from their childhood. And I don't want them to have to sort of not waste time, but learning these lessons so late in life, like I did in my 30s and 40s. I want them to go out into the world in their, now in their teens and their 20s, just as activated and aligned, as connected as they can be.
yeah,
Yeah, the sooner the
yeah.
better.
Unfortunately, we don't come into this world with a manual how to be
Yeah.
mothers. And motherhood, perhaps we're not the best moms in the world, but there are millions of ways to try to be a good mom. So, yeah, we try our best, and from the experience that we've had, maybe from traumatic childhood, now it's our opportunity for us to cut the cycle and not to copy and paste what we experience. So now it's time to break the cycle and to offer something different to our children.
Yeah, beautifully said. I want to thank you today. You are a beautiful example of the guest that I love speaking to on Surviving Roots, because it's all about turning pain into power and our potential. And you have taken something very heartbreaking and transformed your grief into a tool such as this book, and just helping so many people. You really are creating such a ripple effect. And I want to thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thanks to you, and this book is my offering. It's my offering to you all. So thank you for this.
It's called My Drumbeats. You can grab a copy on Amazon. And where can everyone find you?
You know what? They can follow my social media. I'm on Instagram at Anick Vorbe. They can shoot me a DM, and I am looking forward to be helpful to anyone who may need me. So, yeah.
Thank you, Anick, so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Cari.
Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Surviving Roots. I hope it gave you something meaningful to carry with you. Let's keep this conversation going. Find me on Instagram at cari.fund, where I'll share more from the show. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who needs it. And remember, we are the choices that we make.